Peace and blessings, collective. It's December 2nd. The holiday season is officially underway. And while all of the business world and business owners are amping up everything that they have going on, your girl is straight up about to take a self-care week. And it's going to start out as 7 days of self-care. And to be honest, it might end up turning into a full year of self-care. But the reason why I'm doing this is because literally in the past 6 weeks, I have had three different encounters with my asthma flaring up. I have gotten sick for 5, 6 days at a time, been laid flat on my back. And as I was just really reflecting during this time of having to lay flat on my back, I realized the reality is that I myself, and I'm going to speak for myself, but I know so many other business owners out here, don't take the time to do self-care on a consistent basis. We don't take the time to really sit down, ground ourselves, make sure we're taking care of ourselves. We're running 100 miles an hour, trying to make sure everything in the business gets done. A lot of times, in the process of that, you might end up having disgruntled customers. You might end up forgetting tasks that you got to complete. You might end up overlooking things that are really, really important on your to-do list that you just didn't get a chance to get around to. Or even the opposite of that, which is channeling yourself to go 100 miles an hour, setting out all these different goals that you plan on accomplishing, and then not ever really hitting the mark on all the things that you want to do because you literally listed 15 things instead of just 2 or 3 scalable goals or intentions that you want to set, and then trying to execute those. So I'm going to do a self-care series. This self-care series is going to be really a way for me to document what it's taking for me to get myself back on track. I'm always a person that's really focused on going after goals. I'm goal oriented. I am a Gemini in my star sign, but my Venus and my moon is Taurus, and I got a lot of Taurus in me. And with that being said, although my Gemini sign is always inspired and always coming up with new ideas and always going after something new, the Taurus in me makes me come around and stop and say, okay, it's time to pause. It's time to get control over a bunch of different things. It's time to make sure we're keeping ourselves grounded. And so that's what this is going to be. I'm going to let you into this journey that I'm going through. I intend on sharing my thoughts and my dreams and my aspirations and everything else that I'm going through during this holiday season of preparation and, rebooting the business and holding myself accountable to my self-care regimen. I plan on sharing all of that with you. I am encouraging you that if you have not already, to take advantage of the time leading up to the holidays. Don't get so caught up in whether you celebrate the holidays or not. Because for me, I don't celebrate Christmas, but I do Kwanzaa. And I do encourage my, child in my community to celebrate Kwanzaa, on my person to person basis. But inside of business, when everybody else is celebrating seasons, we're running 100 miles an hour to keep up with the demand of our customers and to keep up with the demand of the business. So I'm encouraging you, whether you're a business owner, whether you're a customer, whether you're a woman striving for excellence, who and whatever you are, take a minute to do self-care while everyone else is amping up their stress. Everyone else is amping up their intentions of kicking it up, because the new year is coming. The new year, y'all know, I consider my new year to be March, but the whole entire rest of the world, or a lot of the part of the world, also would rather consider their new year to be in January. So while everybody else is amping up what they want to do, amping up their thoughts and their intentions and what they're striving towards, I encourage you to take a moment for self-care. There's going to be a lot of different family events that are going to be coming up. Some of us are going to be sitting with family and be happy. Some of us are going to be sitting with family and be completely miserable and completely sad. I know for me personally, every time I get with family, it's normally a healing time. But recently, I experienced some very triggering moments, and there's been a lot of regurgitating up, literally. Um, the past trauma that I've experienced. It's been a lot of healing. This Scorpio season for me was very, very intense. It brought up a lot of past trauma. It brought up a lot of things that needed to be healed within myself, within my company, within my family, within my child. It's just brought up a lot to have to heal and to take care of. So now after we're coming out of the Scorpio season and we're going into Sagittarius season, it's a chance for us to take a breath, but it's also a chance for us to get freaking laser beam focused on what we want to accomplish. So I don't intend on these videos being real long, but every single morning I'm going to be coming and I'm going to be sharing what my goals and my thoughts and my plans are during this self-healing journey, giving you some inspiration and some ways that you might be able to get active in your self-healing and self-care regimen, right? And then in addition to that, we're going to talk about yoni steaming, of course, and womb healing and the process of self-care. I know that I always come to you guys with yoni steaming being a way that you can heal your womb and deal with past trauma and all of those things, but it is. But yoni steaming is also a way for you just to generally take care of yourself and to add it to your self-care regimen. So we're going to dive into that, what it looks like for me when I'm doing it just for self-care and not for healing, what steams I use from the blends that we carry at Yoni Love Herbals, what affirmations I say, what meditations I do. Oh yeah, and that's another thing. So every freaking morning, y'all, I wake up. Now, because I just got back from Senegal and they are 5 hours right now during the winter season, they're 5 hours ahead of us. It means that I naturally have jet lag, right? So right now I'm taping this. It's around 10:30 in the morning. There in Senegal, they are 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. They are 3:30. They're at 3:30 in the afternoon. So my biological clock is naturally reset to their time frame. Now that's not necessarily a bad thing, because what's been happening is your girl's been waking up every single morning, whether I want to or not, at 2 o'clock in the morning. My eyes have literally popped open. And while normally my time for getting up is around Fajr, which is sunrise, I've been waking up at 2 o'clock. And if you guys have ever watched my previous videos years ago when I first started my YouTube channel, and I'll try to link it up above, I talked about getting up between the hours of 2 and 6 and how powerful of a time that is. Well, because of me getting up consistently and having this jet lag, whether I want it or not, and being sick and being made to stay still, I've gotten a chance to really think about how I can, of course, increase my self-care, but I've also gotten a chance to really think about the things that I used to do during my self-care regimens, my journeys, my gratitude journaling, and all those things that has really helped me to get to the place where I am right now, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. So I want to share some of those things with y'all naturally. I want to give you ideas on the ways that you can do self-care. And then I also want to tell you that if you are experiencing illness, if you are experiencing sickness and having a hard time with stabilizing yourself right now in this weather changing in the seasons, the changing of seasons, I want you to consider the fact that possibly the reason why our bodies go through such a change when the seasons change, for those of us who struggle with allergies or asthma like myself, or who seem to get sick whenever we go from one climate to another, our bodies are getting sick not because our immune systems are naturally low, or we don't have the antibodies to fight off whatever is going around at the time. A lot of times in the change of seasons, we get sick because it's our body's way of saying slow down, stop, and pay attention to what I have to say. So the same way that our body creates illnesses and issues around our womb, and we struggle to maybe solve and heal womb ailments when we don't listen to our womb when she talks to us, is the same way our body will get sick. We will get sick. We will feel like we have a cold, or, we get a sinus infection like myself, or we get the flu, or whatever else is riding around on the air at this present moment. Because, every day is something new that's coming out, right? The news has something new for us. So our bodies will get sick, though, during this time, because it's literally struggling to be able to make the transition from season to season, if we are not taking the time to be still, to focus, and to see where we're about to go when this season change. So we are getting ready to go from fall into winter. Okay, officially winter starts December the 21st. And during this season change, we probably will notice an increase naturally in the flu. Now, of course, the flu is going around right now, but watch and just take into your mental account how many people is going to be saying, girl, I was sick, or girl, I was dealing with the flu. Watch and listen, right, to what the universe is telling us. People naturally get sick when the seasons change, and it's naturally a way for our bodies, our minds, and our spirits to be able to get a moment to pause, a moment to stop, and a moment to recalibrate ourselves to what is going to be coming ahead. If we don't naturally put that time into our regimen and into our rotation of whatever we have to do on our to-do list, if we don't include self-care, our body is going to make sure that we get self-care time, which is what happened to me. So I was out of the country for 3 months. I came back while I was in Senegal because I didn't get a moment to take a breath, and I was constantly dealing with stressful situations. I got sick. My asthma flared up. Soon as I got like 4.5 hours into my 9-hour flight back to the US, I was literally on the plane, and instantly my body, it was like I caught a cold out of the air, out of nowhere. And it wasn't like COVID or anything like that. It was literally where my sinuses were just draining like a faucet. I came back and I was flat on my back for 5 days. Just sinus infection and just feeling horrible and sick, not able to regulate my temperature. And then literally this past holiday weekend, when everybody else was with their family and was, celebrating and having fun, your girl was sick, laid flat on her back and trying to heal. And so what that told me was like, all right, Hadidah, if you ain't going to listen to your body, right, just get ready for all the time her to be finally making your behind stay still, making your mind recalibrate to the fact that you need a moment, you need a rest, you're human. So in the process of this whole journey, and I'm getting ready to end this video because it wasn't supposed to be something long, I'm going to be coming to y'all every day, sharing my thoughts about what spirit is revealing to me at this moment, but also just trying to give y'all some encouragement to be able to work on what you want to manifest, what you want to do, how to incorporate self-care into your life on a daily and consistent basis, so that over time you will become your top priority if you are not already. And even for those of you who are already like, oh, I already focus on myself all the time, I am my top priority. Yeah, that may be true, but there is always room for improvement. So I'm gonna be sharing with y'all all of my ways that I'm doing this, letting you into a little bit of what my self-care regimen looks like, of course, and the things that I'm doing every single morning. And then hopefully you guys can give me some tips. If y'all are into self-care, y'all have a specific self-care regimen, please drop down in the comments below, like, what do you do for self-care? Let your girl know what things you do on your consistent self-care regimen that you don't miss a beat with every single day, or what things, if you aren't into self-care, what things you would like to be able to start to do. I know that everybody's gonna be setting their New Year's resolutions. For me, I'm not setting my New Year's resolutions. I'm getting ready to go into a time of hibernation and into a time of deep reflection, which is what the winter represents. But in the midst of this, before the winter gets a chance to fully come upon me and fully come upon my business and sneak up on me and slap me like it does every year, I want to be ready for it. So this year I'm not going to get slapped by it. This year I'm going to be meeting it at the door. And I'm going to be like, come on in, winter. We've been preparing the past 3-4 weeks for you to be able to come on into my space. So I love y'all, community. As always, I'm striving to be able to be a better me, be a better Yoni Love Herbals, a better This Red Tint, and a better liaison and help for my community, striving to be a better businesswoman, striving to be a better mother, and of course, better leader in the community, helping sisters to heal their wombs, to live more fulfilling and consistently fulfilling lives in this walk that we call our life. All right, I love y'all. I'm in. I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. And if you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the video. Also, you can reach me anytime if you need to. Hadidah at YONILoveHerbals.com. Reach out to me if you have questions on womb healing, yoni steaming, and the whole 9 yards. All right, I love y'all. Peace. Until next